control your browser, and you can literally chat to it. This is directly inside N8N. So for example, if we open up the chat over here, and I will give you the free template at the end of this video as well. If we go inside the chat here and we type, for example, visit Amazon.com, search for wireless headphones, and for each of the first 5 products, extract the name, price, rating, number of reviews, and availability status. And then from here, we're going to hit enter, like you can see. And this is using this N8N automation to basically start controlling our browser. Now, if I go over to Slack, what you actually see here is the automation has started, right? And basically, this is going to give us a link directly to using this N8N browser. You can see we've got the link here, and we can actually watch the browser working its magic like so. And essentially, now you can see the AI agent, this is not me, in a remote desktop, has navigated directly to Amazon to start doing the work. Pretty wild stuff. And so essentially what this is doing here is it's now using these different tools inside the AI agent, and you can actually get a free API to use this stuff, and then it will start working its magic like so. All right. So if you want to see an example of an execution of this, let me show you. These are all the different examples. So you can see here, for example, if we open this up, and we go to executions, here's an example where we said visit Amazon, search for wireless headphones, and actually inside the chat here directly gives us the breakdown of the price, the reviews, the stars, the availability of each product after searching Amazon, right? And so you can also see these live, so you can see how they're working step by step. As you can see, we've got the links directly to the bots we're using, like this. And this is using something called AirTop to operate this directly, right? So for example, if we look at this previous browser loading, you can basically watch the AI use your browser live. So really cool stuff here. Now, if you want to understand what's going on and how we've used this, like you can see in this example, let me break it down for you. Now, before that, I did promise that I was going to give away the workflow for free. So if you actually navigate to the AI Money Lab, link in the comments description. If you can't find it, just Google it or search ChatGPT. Go to the classroom, scroll down, then go to free N8N automation templates, and the browser use agent is the one you want, and you can just download this like so. All right, so you can get that directly inside here. And also, just want to give a shout out to Nate Herc, who created this similar sort of workflow using the similar sort of process. That's where I learned this stuff from. And it wouldn't have been possible without his work. So, yeah, basically, this is how you can use the template. And if you want to get the free workflow, you can just download the JSON file directly from the AI Money Lab, link in the comments description. So, essentially, let me break down exactly how it works step by step. So we've got 4 different phases over here. All right. We've got the input AI agent. Then we send this over to a browser initialization. From there, we've got the page understanding. So it's going to analyze the page, load the targets, etc., using these connected tools. From there, it's actually going to interact with the page. So it can, for example, perform clicks, or it can input text, or it can extract data, for example. And then finally, we've got the cleanup and error handling as well. Now, this is actually operated via the chat. So inside here, you can put in your prompt. Bear in mind, this is not 100% perfect, all right? So if you're using like a brand new technology like browser use agents, which really only just came out over the last year, I would say, then just be careful with the prompts that you actually use. If you want to see some examples of what sort of prompts I've used on this, then I can actually put those inside the AI Money Lab description here, so you can test these prompts out yourself. But essentially, you can get it to visit websites, scrape data, scrape the latest news headlines, and even fill in like forms it can actually do as well, which is pretty crazy. All right. Now, directly inside here, what you can see is that it's got an input AI agent. So this is the AI agent, and the workflow triggers when someone puts in the chat, right? So if you type something in the chat here, then the workflow triggers. So for example, if we say, okay, let's take an example like so. Like this. That's going to trigger, and you can see how it's connected to OpenRouter. So OpenRouter is the AI that we're using to operate this, along with AirTop. And inside OpenRouter, what you can see here is it's using the model GPT-4.1 Mini. Now, inside OpenRouter, if you connect this, then you can actually use many free APIs. So you don't have to use that one itself. There are many different options as well. AI South Africa says, always great to see the real Julian. Good to see you too, sir. And as we keep going now, let's run this. So now you can see it's performing clicks on the website, and that's the tool that it's using. And then over here as well, we have a conversational memory. So it can actually remember what we're doing directly inside the chat here as well, right? Which is really cool, because then we can go through previous conversations, we can edit what we're saying, etc. It can remember what we're doing along with this, and we're good to go. Remy says, hi, Julian, I got to stop watching your videos, mate. I am taking more time looking for all-rounder AI agent solution than actually using AI. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to stay focused, right? I mean, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, we actually have a focus protocol, because I think that's the number one thing that people struggle with is actually the biggest issue that I see people struggling with is focus, right? So if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom, inside the community here, then scroll down to the Start Here section. We have a focus manual inside here. So you can just follow my protocol and then step by step follow that checklist. That's going to show you exactly how to stay focused whilst you're doing this stuff. So that's one of the things that I would definitely recommend to you if you haven't checked it out already. All right, so let's go back to this workflow like so, and you can see it's worked nicely over here. So for example, for that automation that we just ran, you can see it's visited Amazon, it's gone through the latest headphones, etc. If we actually go to our Slack channel, we can see the link to the live browser over here as well. And if you want to see it in real time, then you just run the workflow and wait for the Slack channel to come through. All right. Now, essentially, these tools that we've connected, let me show you how these work step by step. So you can see we've connected our AirTop credentials, which you can get from AirTop portal.airtop AI, as you can see, and you can see all your previous different sessions down here. So you can actually look at your sessions, look at what happened, what it did, etc., how long each duration took. And then what you want to do is go and grab an API key from the API key section over here, right? So you go to portal.airtop.ai, and then from here, you can just create a new API key. Pretty simple and easy, and that's essentially how you do it. So you're going to create new key in the top right over here. Grab that and then plug that into NA10. which you can do over here. And you just go to AirTop credentials, plug in your API key like so. Pretty simple and easy. Now, if we want to see the workflow that we just ran, we can take a look at that in a second. And then you can see here as well, basically inside the description, it's quite complicated, but we've got the interaction, click an element. So that's the operation that AirTop is running. Then we have browser description. So we've called this a browser session identifier, window identifier, and then we've enabled all these different options here, right? And then you can link this to different tools here. So if you actually add inside your AI agent, you can add perform click, input text, extract data. And this is going to initialize a browser session, right? So basically what this does inside this section is it starts a new browser session in a virtual environment. So this is not running directly inside your browser. It's running inside a virtual environment, which makes it a lot safer, right? So if you're using AI agents, you probably don't want it interacting with your personal data, or for example, you don't want it interacting with all your logins, your passwords and everything like that. And so instead, what you can do is initialize a new browser in a VPS. Then you can run this workflow like you can see over here. And this creates a new workflow, a new browser session like you can see. Now this triggers a whole new workflow here. So you can see the external workflow trigger, which then leads to a session manager. So it creates a new session under the user profile. From there, it's going to create a new browser window. That's going to process the new session. And then that's going to send a notification to my Slack, right? And so we've logged in with our Slack account. It's going to send a message. You can choose which channel you want to send the Slack message to over here in the add section. And then we've got a simple text message, right? So you can actually edit what you see here. So if we go inside the Slack channel here, you can see that we've got the task, the target, aka the website, the live view, so you can watch it live, and then when it actually got started. All right. So you can see it running there, and then you can choose whether to use Markdown. Now, if you are, for example, posting this inside Slack, you would use Markdown format just so that it reads nicer inside the message, and then that's going to validate the initialization in terms of the window. So when you're doing this as well, what you want to do is create a channel or use an existing one, right? And you just invite your app to the Slack channel. Now, if you don't know how to set up Slack channels inside n8n, we also have a tutorial on how to do that. Completely different video, but you can see here, it basically shows you step by step how to create and connect Slack bots to your n8n workspace so that you can easily send messages automatically with the AI, right? So bear in mind, this is basically using multiple AIs. Like it's not just, for example, using, your typical AI agent. It's a very complicated workflow where it's running through AirTop, it's running through Slack, it's connected to multiple different apps, and then it's using this process, right? So I kind of want to show you the AI working live. So let me refresh the chat session now, and then we're going to run this prompt again, just as an example, and you see how that's initializing the browser, which is great. Then it's opening up OpenRouter, it's inputting the text. And then we've got the live view over here, right? So you can see how it's navigated to Amazon and it's typing in wireless headphones in the top bar. Now you can take control of the browser as well if you want to. But you can see here essentially it's looking through the page, it's clicking things, it's waiting for things to load. And I'm not typing anything, I'm not touching the screen, etc. This is just basically using the AI to control our browser. Now, the other cool thing about this as well is you can actually assign logins inside AirTop. So when it's controlling your browser, it can then actually log into your social media. Or if you wanted to, it could log into your Amazon account and buy stuff for you, that sort of stuff, if you were feeling really crazy, right? And so essentially, you can see how the AI interacts with the browser and different websites using this process. Now, if we close that down, right, and then we go back to AirTop, so if we go back to our AirTop dashboard over here, what you can actually see inside the profile section on the left, once you've signed in, is you can connect this to different social media profiles, right? So you can save credentials to the profile, which means, for example, if you wanted to save Twitter, or you wanted to, for example, save your LinkedIn profile, maybe your Amazon account. Again, I don't recommend it. Like, that's probably not very safe, but if you wanted to, you could. I just want to show you what's possible. Then you can use this whole process right here. So that's basically how it works. Remy says, a while ago, I started with NA10, now checking out Manus. Claude will be next. There's so many different tools you can use out there, actually. It's actually amazing. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well, actually, what we have is an updated tools list here, right? It's a list of tools that I use, so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't have to pay extra. You can just follow what I use. I use a very minimal setup when it comes to actually the tasks that I do and automate inside my business. But if play with shiny objects, if you want to test this stuff out, if you want to see what's possible, then obviously you can see all this stuff on my channel right here. So that's basically how it works in terms of phase 1 and phase 2 we've talked about as well. Now let's talk about phase 3. So inside phase 3, this can basically use another bunch of tools, right? Kind of like the perform, click, input text, and extract data, but these are analyze and plan, navigate to page, so it can actually load up websites. We can inspect the page, and we've got a smart page analyzer. Basically, what all of this is doing is empowering the AirTop tool and the AI agent to be able to control our browser using different tools. Now, we have to set up all these tools individually, because we don't just have one big tool that says, okay, go off and analyze the internet, or go off and log into Twitter, right? We have to set up the individual tools that empower it. And each one of these tools is very, very useful. So, and actually, if you only set up a few of these tools, it won't be as powerful as you want it to be. So that's basically it in terms of phase 3. And if you want to see how this sets up, you can see we've actually got a thinking tool description here, right? So for each of these modules, we've got the tool descriptions. So the smart page analyzer and everything else, like you can see. And then finally, we have the cleanup session. Right, so this is going to close the browser for you. It's going to free up the resources, and it's also going to keep the channel updated and also handle any errors as well. This is important because inside AirTop, when you're using this, whether you're whatever plan you're on, you've only got a limited number of browsers that you can actually use, right? So let me show you what I mean. If we go to account settings over here, and then we'll go on to plan. You can see the different plans here. Now, if you want to go with the free plan, which you can do, then you only get one session, only one browser session, which is important to note, because if you want NA10 to never run out of sessions that you can use, then obviously you want to make sure that inside the NA10 workflow, you clean up the session and you close up any browsers you're not using, any browser sessions, right? And so that's essentially how it works. Beautiful little workflow, one of the most complicated NA10 workflows I've ever seen, super powerful, and you can get it for free inside the AI Money Lab. Just go to the AI Money Lab, go to Browser Use Agent, and then you can get the JSON file for this bad boy right here. If you download that, like you can see, then you go back to NA10, go to Overview, Create Workflow. From here, click on Import from File. Boom shakalaka, there you go. All right, it just imports it instantly using this free template. And if you need help implementing this stuff, if you need coaching, if you need support, because it's one thing having the template, it's another actually being able to use it and implement it inside your business, then feel free to check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. Inside the community here, you can see how active it is, right? How many people are posting and helping each other, and the feedback that we have on this community is absolutely insane. Actually, let me pull this up. I think we've got like, what, 39 pages of testimonials from people who've helped with AI. So, we're just trying to help people as much as we can. We're trying to empower the world. We're trying to create a place where we can all learn AI safely together, but in an environment where it doesn't feel overwhelming. And so if you want to check that out, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. We've also got all these different courses here, including an NA10 templates and workflow section. And then also inside the Start Here section, you can see that actually we teach you how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes, plus how to actually monetize this stuff and how to utilize AI agents inside your business. So if you want to learn exactly how to use AI step by step, maybe you're overwhelmed or you don't know where to start, or you just want to learn the fundamentals that are going to empower you forever, then check out the 6-week AI Automation Masterclass. We also have tons of other different automations inside here as well. Inside the calendar, we run 5 coaching calls per week, including a weekly NA10 Masterclass. So you can jump on those live inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And then finally as well, we actually give away tons of stuff. So you can see all this stuff you actually get for free as free unlocks as you become more active inside the community. So you can see a leaderboard here, who's on the leaderboard for all time, 30 days, 7 days, and then also all this stuff you can unlock, including like one-to-one calls with me, a free custom GPT, AI social media audits, etc. You unlock all of these for free inside the AI Profit Boardroom as you're more active. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. I hope to see you inside there. It's the only place I personally connect with people, and I hope you enjoyed this workflow. Again, you can get it for free inside the AI Money Lab, but if you need help with it, if you struggle to implement this stuff, then check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Remy says, scary workflow, so many points of potential failure. How do you prevent your data, emails, resumes from becoming training data? So if you don't want to, so the cool thing about this workflow is, right, again, it's inside a virtual VPS, right? So it's not inside your browser, it's not using your data, it's not connected to any of your tools unless you give AirTop access inside the profile connection section, right? So it's safe because it's in a virtual environment that is not connected to any of your logins. And if you do want to connect your logins, though, optionally, then you just go to this section, create a new profile, boom, right? And that way you avoid any sort of maliciousness. But yeah, always be careful, always be safe. Sporter says, boom, shakalaka, that's what we're talking about, my friend. And then the final thing that I want to show you here is, maybe you're thinking about becoming a client with us. Maybe you're thinking, Julian, just set this stuff up for my business. Maybe you're an enterprise that wants to set this stuff up and you want to hire us to do it, right? Because you don't have the time or you don't have the resources. You love all these automations, but you don't have the time, you're trying to scale, etc. right? Then feel free to book in a free AI automation session, link in the comments description. On that call, we're going to look at where you spend your time, what systems you need to build to automate that time. And then number 3, how much it will cost and how much time it will take to go off and implement that for you, for your business. So we can set all this stuff up for you. We have an AI automation session that does this stuff for loads of clients. And honestly, it's life-changing for a lot of business owners, like you can see right here, because you're saving hundreds of hours for your business. Marinella, hi from Italy. Ciao. I've actually got a family from Naples in Avellino, of all places. So don't know where you're from, Marinella, but it's always good to see a fellow Italian on here, even if I'm only half Italian. But yeah, feel free to get all of this stuff. Link in the comments description. Hope to see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Grab the free template from the AI Money Lab, and I hope this stuff helped you. Appreciate everyone who jumped on. Cheers. Bye-bye.